Hello everybody, I'm Jill Beach, and this is the Royal Caribbean Report. News to help you keep up to date with what's going on in the company. Our top story is Royal Caribbean's first ever public stock offering. The company initially offered 10 million shares and is now offering another 1.5 million. It's a major story outside and inside the company. Don Webb reports.
You wanted some information about the IPO?
Yes.
Here's the memo that you need, and here's the prospectus, and you just need to review it all.
It's been busy in the Human Resources Department as staffers bring co-workers up to speed on the latest information available about employees' ability to buy stock in the company. In an IPO, initial public offering, stock will be traded publicly, meaning anyone can purchase shares. The prospectus, or report that explains the sale, shows that the IPO will offer 10 million shares of common stock. The shares should sell somewhere between $17 and $19 each. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer Richard Fain explains the stock sale will not change Royal Caribbean's operating style.
It's important because it gives our employees and the travel agent community that we do business with an opportunity to buy into the company and to be a shareholder themselves. So it really allows both the employees and the travel agent community to feel that they have a piece of the action. And we think that will help them in going forward as well. So it's an exciting time for us, and I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Some employees might wonder if the stock issue is because of debts.
I think this is going to help position us for the future and for future growth. It's not, as we say, at all related to any debt needs of the company. But it does put us in a position so that when a new opportunity comes up, a new ship, a new opportunity of any type, we're able to look at that on its own merits, knowing that the money is available without having to say, well, gee, can we really do this deal now? Can we really order this ship, or have to arrange the financing ahead of time? And that may be difficult. And there are a lot of transactions out there, new ships, new investments, etc., where you'd really like to move fairly quickly. And the ability to move quickly will help distinguish us from many of our competition.
The senior management worked on the stock offering concept for years before making any announcements. Employees are urged to read the prospectus carefully before deciding whether or not to invest and how many shares to purchase. Don Webb for the Royal Caribbean reports.
This is Abdul Muhsin. Royal Caribbean's Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer Richard Glaser also predicts business as usual, and he predicts the initial public offering will expand the company's horizons.
I don't think much will happen differently for the next few years, but over time, doing an initial public offering, or what we often call an IPO, it gives us what we call access to money markets, capital markets, that the company wouldn't otherwise have. And through this process, we'll have more flexibility to finance our growth, whether that's in the form of new ships or maybe even acquiring something.
Exactly how will the IPO work?
This will be approximately a 15% offering.
While employees can buy stock at the time of the public offering, the company is also working to develop a program whereby employees can buy stock through some type of payroll deduction plan, one in which the company would subsidize part of it. Abdul Muhsin for the Royal Caribbean Report.
For about a year and a half, Royal Caribbean ships have not visited the beautiful, secluded coast of Haiti, best known to us as Labadie. The reason, of course, is the Organization of the American States and the U.S. government's embargo against the current political regime in Haiti. But the company has not abandoned this tropical paradise. And Jeanette Delgado explains.
5 spectacular beaches always delighted Royal Caribbean passengers. The tropical paradise peninsula on the mountainous north coast of Haiti covers 260 acres. The facility provided jobs for Haitians and a delightful stopover for our guests. But political turmoil ended visits there temporarily. Complying with the U.S. government trade embargo has cost Royal Caribbean plenty by not being able to use one of its most popular resorts. But the company's vice president for corporate relations tells us negotiations are underway in Washington to speed the reopening of Haiti.
I feel, and this is an optimistic outlook on my part, that in the next few months that situation will work itself out anyway. of necessity, because there are a lot of people that are suffering down there. So I don't think we're going back in the next few weeks or so. I can tell you, however, that the facility has been maintained, and whenever the decision comes to go back into Labadee, it will be a very, very short period of time before we have our, I'm guessing 2 to 3 weeks before we can start taking our passengers back in there. So.
And it's being maintained?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not
yeah.
shut down?
No,
You've
no.
got a small staff?
No, we have people on site there, and it's being maintained, and it's up to standard. The only reason why it would take 2 or 3 weeks is we have some tenders that get people off and on the ship that we had to move to repair, because you can't import or export anything into or out of Haiti. That's what the executive order says. And we would have to change our itinerary and make sure our travel agents and passengers and other people knew that. So we could do that in a relatively short period of time.
John Fox explains it's not illegal for Royal Caribbean to travel to Haiti because it is a foreign registered company. But with headquarters in the U.S., the decision has been to cooperate with this government's plan. Angelina Delgado for the Royal Caribbean Report.
Now for some facts of interest. Did you know that the Song of Norway was the first cruise ship to be sliced in two and lengthened with the addition of an 85-foot midsection? That was in 1978. Now it's standard cruise industry practice. And in 1 year, RCCL buys over 1 million rolls of toilet paper. That's enough to encircle the globe with several thousand rolls to spare. According to cruise industry experts, some 125 ships sailing in North America could carry as many as 4.5 million passengers in 1993. Making sure Royal Caribbean gets its share of those travelers is a major responsibility of the marketing department. Bill Callis tells us about new concepts designed to keep company berths filled.
It's kind of like everything's carved in jello, nothing's carved in stone, because you always have to make sure that the bottom line is fill the cabin.
And Corrine Armstrong, who joined Royal Caribbean about a year ago, is constantly working with other departments to coordinate marketing, sales support materials, and advertising campaigns to win passenger loyalty.
Day one in the middle of nowhere. The meals have been superb. It's a good thing they have a fitness program aboard every Royal Caribbean ship. Maybe I'll work out tonight before dinner. Maybe I won't. There was something about the streamers at our Bon Voyage party that told me this is going to be the vacation of a lifetime.
She says the biggest challenge is to convince people why they should book us over other cruise lines. The public is definitely hearing from the company.
If you're equating it to, say, a child going on up to an adult, we're about, right now we've just finished crawling and we're standing up taking our first steps. We've got TV running, newspapers up to speed, magazine is on the way. We're not all finished with what we'll have in the magazine area yet as far as ads go. Direct mail is partially done. This is direct communication via our new update magazine to travel agents that goes out 6 times a year to keep them informed of what's happening at Royal Caribbean so they know what to sell when. And to the past passengers with the Crown and Anchor magazine. Those are redesigned and out. We're working on the brochures, the sales material, posters, and collateral at this point to complete the whole circle.
Another big hit with passengers, and especially travel agents, is the Cruise Care Insurance Program. Armstrong says about 60% of passengers are purchasing the plan. Bill Callis for the Royal Caribbean Report.
Project Vision is official. The plan will add as many as 3 new ships to the fleet. Their value, nearly $1 billion. While one new 1,800 passenger vessel will be delivered in 2 years, Don Webb found out the Project Vision concept is flexibility.
We've completed the order for the Project Vision ships and the financing that was associated with that, and that was done back in early March, I think, was when it was actually signed, sealed, and delivered. We have ordered 2 vessels, and we have an option for a 3rd. We actually also have an option to cancel one of the 2 orders if we wish to do so. So the final number of ships won't be finalized until September.
The ships would increase Royal Caribbean's capacity by as much as 37%. With 1,800 berths, each ship will provide 830 crew staff positions. The new ships will incorporate the best of the company's existing vessels, plus new design.
We're looking at the existing Royal Caribbean market, probably at the slightly higher end of it. We're looking for repeat passengers who are familiar with the Royal Caribbean experience, who can go on slightly longer itineraries. We're looking at maybe 10, 12, and possibly even 14-day itineraries. Originally, we discussed doing round-the-world cruising. That may become an option, but at present, we're looking at some more well-established itineraries, but just expanding the experience for our passengers and our crew, of course, to see new areas.
Plans call for some dramatic new ideas, including pool and atriums patterned after European winter gardens. Don Webb for the Royal Caribbean reports.
As Royal Caribbean strives for excellence in service, the Human Resources Department is making news. Shipboard training and soon-to-be-completed training videotapes will work together to improve purser skills.
She knows all the answers and she knows all the questions and everything. She knows the response.
Under the direction of Manny Garcia Rubio, it was lights, camera, action on board the Majesty of the Seas, as pursers temporarily traded their positions for acting jobs. The production, sponsored by the Human Resources Department, is a training video titled Smooth Sailing to Quality Service, Part 1.
We want the video to reinforce the positive actions that we've taken to improve customer service. We have a training program now that the training department is going from ship to ship. And Michael and I have been trying to instruct our chief pursers to be more proactive in the management of our staff. And so we hope that the video will really nail home the fact that customer service is very important to us and to our customers.
We got speed. Stand by. At any time.
The video production will be seen by all company pursers.
I think it's great. It's going to be a great impact on not only the purser staff, but the other people around too, because they'll see how we deal with the passengers, the customer relations. So I think it's an excellent thing that we're doing at this point in time.
Do you think it's fun for your people? I hear a lot of laughing.
Oh yeah, I think they're having a blast. They're really enjoying themselves. I think because it adds the humor to it too, because this is what sometimes some of them have always wanted to do. It's their opportunity to be a star, and this is it.
Of course, the fun is positive, but the plan includes several levels of training, all aimed at improved skills.
This is the first shot we've ever had at training on board the ships. And so you have all different levels of education and all different cultures and all different levels of experience. So what we decided to do is just put it very basic, and this is kind of a smorgasbord of basic management skills.
According to Peter Welpton, Executive Vice President of Hotel Operations, the #1 most important reason people take cruise vacations is for the shopping. He says the second most important reason is the food. Here's Yvonne McCormick with a report on a campaign designed to keep food quality shipshape.
You all right? Yeah, fine. Swelling about.
If you notice small groups of people doing more studying than eating in the dining rooms or food service areas, not to worry. They're there for a reason.
We felt that we ought to get someone from the outside to look at it rather than us looking at it, because certainly you should never be afraid to hold up your operation and have someone else take a look at it and tell you where you're wrong or right or whatever.
The consultants are from the Culinary Institute of America. It was chosen from a field of 12 companies.
They'll recommend certain menu changes. They may recommend changes in menu formatting. They may recommend enhancements to our service that we give. It would be things like that. This is not a survey where they're going to go on board and look for people, try to catch you doing things that are wrong. We really aren't interested in that. But what they'll do is look at the overall operation, and then they'll suggest the things I've mentioned. And in addition to that, possibly like diet changes in the menu, say less fats and more lighter foods and things of that nature.
I think it's extremely important for somebody outside the operation to come inside and have a look what are we doing, and receive the input from the outsiders, because we are so long with the same operation, really, maybe we don't see actually what we can improve. It's like too long in the forest and you don't see the trees any longer.
Welpton says he expects to see the first series of evaluations by the end of June. Then company experts will examine the recommendations, and by late fall, ships will begin to see some changes. Yvonne McCormick for the Royal Caribbean Report.
If you've got a story idea for the Royal Caribbean Report, we'd like to hear from you. Write us Attention Royal Caribbean Report in care of Training and Development, 1050 Caribbean Way, Miami, Florida, 33132. Providing entertainment that dazzles and thrills Royal Caribbean passengers continues to be a challenge to be met. Since starting in-house productions, passengers, performers, and staff are giving rave reviews. Here's Krista Colley.
On Royal Caribbean, it's the way we
The in-house extravaganza, Imaginique, is a blockbuster for passengers on this Majesty of the Seas cruise.
We have found with the first productions that we did on the Nordic Empress that the reaction was so positive, it was unbelievable. We got so much better product and such a fine performance from the artists that we've now taken several productions in-house on several of the ships. And we are on a program that by the end of this year, we will have most of our shipboard variety show productions all in-house.
Take that look off your face.
You have the tape here?
I have the CD. You know, in the morning or anything.
That's red. Just go over all the cues with Murph.
So we're gonna have an awesome show tonight? I know we are.
Performers and musicians say the in-house shows get their creative juices flowing.
The production quality is 200% better. The teamwork is there. The cruise director, all the departments work together to promote the entertainment package as one. And really, we're really proud of what we have on the Majesty, and I think it's the best it can be.
It's different because the production values are a lot more, you know, extreme. There's a lot more money going into the project, so it's great. It just makes them that much more visually stimulating.
It just gives us a better opportunity to use the talents that we have.
The Royal Caribbean's entertainment department is responsible for all elements of show production, everything from costumes to sets. Krista Colley for the Royal Caribbean Report.
And that's our report. I'm Jill Beach. Thanks for watching. Be safe. Bye-bye.